Hi everyone, we're going to find the partial fraction decomposition of this equation. We have a linear term here and a quadratic factor here. So I set the A, B, and C up where I have a linear term or linear equation on top of a quadratic expression. And A is over X, so that way these are proper rationals. And this will give us our LCD. So this is our least common denominator right here. So the first thing we're going to do is clear the fractions and by multiplying by our least common denominator here. So that will cancel. We're left with x squared minus 11x minus 18. Here the x cancels and we're left with a times x squared plus 3x plus 3. And on this last bit, with these cancel, so we just have bx plus c times x. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I notice I just have an x here, so I'm going to let x equal 0. That's because if that's 0, that's going to knock those two out, and I can just solve for a. So we have 0 squared minus 11 times 0 minus 18 equals a times 0 squared plus 3 times 0 plus 3. That knocks that out. That's knocked out. So basically what we get is negative 18 equals 3a. Divide by 3. So a is going to be negative 6. Try to remember that. And now we're going to go ahead and let x equal 1 and plug that in. So you got 1 squared minus 11 times 1 minus 18 equals a times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 plus 3 plus b times 1 plus c, and that's going to be times 1. The reason we chose 1 is because then that just cancels out there and you can just write that. So for this side, this is all going to equal negative 28. This is 6 plus 1 is 7, so you get 7a. And then here we have b plus c. So we know our a equals negative 6 from the previous slide. So you get negative 28 equals negative 6 times 7 is negative 42 plus b plus c. So you add 42 to both sides, you get 14 equals b plus c. Now the only thing we can do here is get a system of linear equations. So on the next slide, I'm going to let x equal negative 1, and I'm going to use this equation and do the process of elimination to get my b and c. So let's try x equals negative 1, and then plug that in. Equals a times negative 1 squared plus 3 times negative 1 plus 3 plus b times negative 1 plus c times negative 1. Again, we're choosing small numbers so we don't have to reduce. Now basically this side here is going to equal, so this is going to be positive 11, this is going to be positive 1. So 12 minus 16 is negative, minus 18 is negative 6. This 2 cancels, so we just get negative 1 squared. That's just going to be a. And then this is negative b times negative 1. You have to distribute here. So that's going to be positive b. And when you do this one, it's going to be minus c. And go ahead and plug in your a again. And I forgot what our a, okay, our a is negative 6, so plug that in. You get negative 6 equals negative 6 plus b minus c. And when you add 6 to both sides, you get 0 equals b minus c. All right, now I have my two systems. So the first one we had was that b plus c equals 14. We also had b minus c equals 0. So combine these, just add them up. You get b plus b. We're adding. So that's 2b. These cancel. You get 14. Divide by 2, so b equals 7. So if b is 7, just plug that back in here, or this one. And if b is 7, so is c. Therefore, our final answer is going to be x squared minus 11x minus 18 divided by x times x squared plus 3x plus 3 equals my a. My a was negative 6. And here's my b and here's my c. So I get negative 6 over x plus 7x plus 7 over squared plus 3x plus 3. If you want it, you could factor out the 7 here. That would be x plus 1. That's up to you. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.